All right, hey there, guys. Adrian DeGassi here, aka Jetterbro95, coming at you guys with another video. So, Madden 25 has been out for a couple of weeks, and I feel like it's probably about time for me to talk about what I find to be both good and bad in Madden 25. Now, I'm not going to say Madden 25 is good or bad, to be completely honest with me personally. I still think it's way too early to judge it as a good or a bad game because there's going to be patches, the game's going to change, all that, this, that, and everything. So, with that being said, though, I am going to talk about stuff that I do like about Madden 25 and I don't like. Now, if you guys have anything that you guys want to say that you like or don't like about Madden 25, obviously, let me know in the comment section below. Also, hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Hopefully going to start uploading more consistently for you guys on YouTube. Haven't been doing so very much over the summer because I got busy with seasonal work, which is fun. But we're going to start off with the good, where I always like to start off with the good stuff because, quite frankly, I'm not really someone who likes to focus on the negative too much. Now, for the good stuff for this game, I do think, personally, the playbooks are a lot of fun. Now, I do understand that some playbooks are still going to be the best overall, but for my taste, personally, I feel like playbooks this year are a lot more enjoyable and a lot more diverse, and do try to capture the real-life scheme of the team that it is representing. You guys, if you guys have been following me on Twitch, which you are, but if you haven't, by the way, link in the description, come say hi. I'm actually running the Miami Dolphins offense, which is by far, for me, the most fun offense I have used in Madden. Like, I absolutely love this offense and how fun it is overall. And you guys know I love running my entire playbook and just experimenting and having fun with it. But the fact that this playbook has so many cheat motions and so many fun plays that you can rock, and the fact that it's one of those off-meta playbooks that many people really haven't caught on to yet at the time of recording this video, which people are more than likely going to start catching on to this very, very soon, because this offense is really, really fun. I think it's really, really sweet. I do like the playbooks overall. I think they are a lot of fun to play with. Now, for the most part, I do think that the playbooks could be better. Now, as of recording this video, they do not have it to where you could save your custom audibles from game to game at the current moment, which could be coming in the next patch or two. From my understanding, it should be within the first early patches. I don't know. I think that's what RG said. It was going to be like the first, the beta, the MUT deep dive. They said they were going to have it, or like the Madden deep dive. They were going to have it in like the first couple of patches or something like that. I don't remember, but either way, it's still great to have these plays, like some of these plays in the game, and you know, it's a lot of fun. I really like it. Also, the thing I do like about the play, in terms of continuing on with playbooks, is the new shell feature. So for those of you guys that do not know, there is a new feature in the game this year where you can actually disguise your coverage a lot more than you would with, say, man or baseline, for example. Now, this year, if you guys go see in the bottom right corner here, where I'm going to be pointing at in the video when I edit this, you guys notice where it says shell and it says default. Now, this is like the default thing. When you whatever coverage you break the huddle in, that is the look you're going to be giving your opponent. However, this year you can change it up. So you can show cover 0, cover 2 man, cover 2 zone, to cover 3, cover 4, and cover 6. Now, they don't have a cover 1 option in here, which I find very, very interesting. However, that being said, I still think it's pretty sweet. The fact that you can show your opponent whatever coverage you want and still call a different coverage on the back end. For example, you could show cover 3 and play cover 6, for example. You could show a 2-man underlook and play a Tampa 2. Or you can show a cover 0 and play cover 1 or 2-man under. You know, it's a lot of fun to try different shells and confuse your opponent that way and having a nice, good back and forth mental chess match. Now, it is in a lot of formations, for example, like especially in the 4-3, in like a lot of 4-3 formations, I've noticed 3-4 does not seem to have a whole lot of them. I don't know why. It's a bit weird. I think that's probably something that should be changed, especially because, like, for example, in a 4-3, like double mug like this, I can show cover 3 like this, but for example, in a 2-4-5 double mug, I can't, which doesn't make sense to me. It's something that absolutely needs to change. And I hope EA does actually change it in the next coming patch and whatnot. But being able to show different coverages and confuse your opponent is a lot of fun. And I do think that is something that EA should get a lot of credit for implementing in the game, even though it did take them way too long, in my opinion, to implement it. Now, next thing I want to talk about is the new diversity in hot routes. Now, this year, they actually did give us the ability to have corner routes as well as post routes for slot receivers and outside receivers as well as tight ends. Now, that is sweet because you don't have to waste AP on it for players that you would want to have corner routes or post routes on. But I'll touch on it again later on why I just don't like it in general. But being able to have corner routes and post routes does open up your offense quite a bit. And it does make your team, your offense, a little bit more dynamic, and especially with not needing Hot Route Master so early in the game, which again, I'll talk about that later on as well. Next thing I want to talk about that I do believe is a good thing is the fact that in MUT, for example, it is very easy to be a no money spent player. Now, this is a team that I've constructed. You guys know I construct a Seahawks theme team every single year, and this year is no exception. And there's a lot of free cards that you could just get by playing the game. You get Christian McCaffrey, Mike Allstott, Hines Ward, Ray Lewis, and also Max Crosby, who's down here in the bottom left. And then you also can get your free legend already. Like, I already have Earl Thomas, which I'm going to be having a gameplay for the Legion of Boom here coming out probably tomorrow. But you can get your free legend already just by playing the game and grinding out solo challenges. This Jerome Baker is absolutely free. All you got to do is just complete one solo challenge in the training camp section, and you get a pretty good budget card. This card is really, really nice for a user. 83 speed and 81 acceleration obviously for a non-theme team is pretty good to start the year. And the fact that he's relatively tall too makes him even better. Also, they did bring back the way they did team captains last year, so you can have like all five team captains in your lineup. Now, I personally still think it's a bummer that they did it this way because I quite frankly am not a fan of this structure because it only it does make it seem like you get all the captains, but the reality is you still only get maybe one or two at the beginning of the year, and it takes a little while for them to actually all get upgraded. That and the fact that with the team captains, you don't actually get them all in 99 because last year we didn't. But the fact that you have the options to pick whichever ones you want, you don't have to do exchanges, and you can just throw them in to start the year is really sweet. Overall, you also get this free Puka Nacua just by getting for the Rookie Premier Welcome Pack. Although as we're recording this video, Rookie Premiers still haven't dropped yet for some ungodly fucking reason. Don't ask me. I have no clue. I didn't even do Rookie Premiers last year because I just didn't think they were worth doing, and boy was I right. I don't know about that, but you get the point. But it's very easy to be a no money spent player this year just by completing the solo passes, the field passes, and all that stuff. You get so many good rewards. You get some uniforms, coins, some season tickets, which you can use to exchange to get more upgrades for your players. There's also the season of Boom Pass, the team captains, legends, aka you get, there's some more players that you'll be able to earn later on. But there's also like players you can get in challenges, like for example in team builders at just 5 stars you get an 82 team builder just by doing 1 or 2 solo challenges. 2 because you need 5 stars for that. For doing these ultimate boom solos you get an 83 Christian Watson, which is actually a relatively good receiver, especially to start the year. Overall I think it's really, really nice to have a good receiver. The Forge is back, which is something that a lot of people absolutely loved, myself included, which is awesome to see. And then you also have these legends, which again, you get a free legend right now. So it's very easy to be no money spent by just grinding out the game and playing it and having fun. Also, continuing on with no money spent, the thing that I absolutely do love the fact is they made this game appealing to everybody, essentially. They made this game appealing to everybody. They do have regular head-to-head seasons if you guys just want to have fun and play whatever. They have ranked for those that really want to grind and compete against one another. You see the leaderboards. I personally am just not interested in ranked at the current moment just because there really isn't anything for me to go ahead and try and get. But you can see there's people that are trying to get into the top 100 and get that. I believe it's Ed Reed is the top 100 reward. So just by getting top 100, you get a really incredible free safety. They also brought back the rewards for Weekend League / MUT Champs this year. So at 20, and they kept it the same as it has been the last few years, where it's been all week and all you need to do is just play this. You get the rewards again, which is awesome. They did bring back solo battle rewards as well. I'll showcase those real quick. Solo battles. Come on, hurry up. There we go. My rank. So you see right here. Now I've done these. You get some coins. You get like 4 Hail Marys, 3 midfields, and 2 red zone packs, which is about the same as you got last, I think, Madden 22. Except without the coin quick sells. I wish they'd bring back the coin quick sells, but you know what? I'll take the rewards at least. I'll take the rewards at least because solo battles actually do have some reason for being, and that actually transitions me to the next thing is the removal of the competitive pass. The competitive pass is gone, and I quite frankly and I'm happy that it is gone. Now, personally, I don't think it was the big reason why the game was completely stale the last 2 years, but I do agree that the competitive pass was so not worth grinding at times, especially last year's when we had players that just did not seem appealing whatsoever, and they lasted an entire season, whereas compared to 23, the competitive pass lasted 2 weeks, and you got a brand new player every 2 weeks. So, yeah, last year's competitive pass was just absolute fucking disaster, and the year before was actually really, really good. So, I think if they stuck with that competitive pass, it would have been a lot better, but they didn't, and they ended up going with the season-long comp pass, which in my opinion was a bad idea, and a lot of people turn on the competitive pass, and it's not in the game. So, take that for what you will, but I personally am glad to see that it is gone, just because of the fact that it does give, because of the fact that there is other things within the game that make the game a lot more enjoyable. Next that I want to talk about for myself personally, that I do personally love about this game so far, obviously besides the Legion of Boom being back, all three of them, yes, we have all three, so we're gonna go ahead and count that. But the other thing I want to just mention that I am really, really enjoying right now, when it comes to this game, is just the overall, like, the way the game plays. Like, right now, I feel like the game, like, defensively, it is bad, don't get me wrong, but more specifically when it comes to the movement of Madden 25, it doesn't feel like it's too arcadey, but it doesn't feel like it's too clunky like it did in Madden 21 Next Gen. Now, you guys know, if you guys have been following me for a long time, I actually did not mind Madden 21 Next Gen movement. I thought it was fine. But people did call for it to be changed, and it has been changed over recent years. And overall, I think they've gotten a good balance with it. I don't really think they should have touched it that much more after 23. I thought 23 was perfect in terms of the movement system and all that stuff and how players moved and all that stuff. But they actually did do a pretty solid job of making it easier for us to, have players move around a lot more and cover ground more. And so with that, I actually give EA credit for that. But that being said, let's talk about the bad things. And I'm not really happy about talking about these because, quite frankly, I don't like dwelling on the bad, but a lot of these do need to be discussed because, quite frankly, I wouldn't be doing my job as a I wouldn't be doing myself a service as a content creator to you guys if I didn't mention the bad thing. So the first thing is how much of a shit show MUT has been since launch. It is absolutely incredible to me that EA Sports continues every single year to be a fucking shit show at this game. I have no idea how something has not changed over the past few years when we've had players that have a MUT content team that has just been fucking horrendous at communicating with players about the updates on certain things, as well as the fact of just failing to release content when it's supposed to be out. At the time of this recording, we still don't have rookie premieres, as I mentioned earlier. How do we not have our rookie premieres? You guys had 2 months to prepare for this. What the hell? Like, you guys had 2 months to prepare for this, and you fucking can't get it right? We also don't even have our Ultimate Alumni players yet, which are completely outdated by this point because Myles Garrett already has a new card, and Barkley and Josh Hines-Allen just are not really that premier edge rushers anymore, at least in comparison to guys like Lawrence Taylor and fucking CJ2K for their respective positions. So it baffles my mind that EA still cannot get their freaking shit together when it comes to content. I don't understand why EA is so bad at this. They need to change it, and there needs to be drastic changes with EA's content team. There has to be some changes because this stuff is just, quite frankly, it should not be acceptable anymore. It just shouldn't be. Anyways, continuing on with the other things that I don't like about this game, is the fact of the 3-4 defensive playbooks kind of feel a little bit obsolete in terms of like disguising coverages and whatnot. As I mentioned earlier, with 4-3 kind of defenses, you're able to show a lot more shells. But when you go to use a 3-4 defense, which I'll cut the video and I'll showcase it when we get back. If you guys have anything you want to throw out that you guys like or don't like about Madden 25, let me know, guys. I will have it in the video because I do have the chat box on. So yeah, just let me know. Go ahead and comment. So anyways, we're back into 3-4 defense. I'm in the Seahawks defense, for example. So you see right here on a 2-4, like a regular 2-4, I can change my coverage to show whichever I want, right, for the shell. However, if I were to go to 2-4 double mug, I can't do it. I literally cannot change the shell of the 2-4 double mug, but I can on 4-3 double mug, or like just standard double mug. And same goes for 3-3 cub, but I can't do it here, but I could do it on 3-3 penny, 5 penny, which is a new formation this year. 3-3 odd doesn't even have the option to show cover 3 in it, which is, yeah, buzzkill to me, but I can get why people don't want to have that. And then nickel triple just doesn't even have it all together, which is hilarious. And then we get the dime 2-3-6. It doesn't allow me to do it, but dime rush does. And then with 2-3 will, we can, and then 1-4-6 we can't. Like, it feels like 3-4 defenses are a bit of a different, like, not a different animal, but like a different, like, they feel a little bit less incentivized to use, at least for myself personally. Like, you guys know what I like to do for the Seahawks theme team. So it is just kind of unfortunate to see the playbooks for the 3-4 defensive style get completely shafted in comparison to a 4-3 type of defense. Now, I don't know if it's by design or if there's just a bug in the game that EA never really did address, but hopefully they do address it and they get to it. Now, next thing I want to talk about is lineups creation in Madden in the MUT menus. I still don't understand why we are defining positions, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We still have right outside and left outside linebacker, as well as left and right, and as well as having fullback. First of all, why are we still required to have a fullback on our roster? To me, it does not make sense. There are teams in the NFL that do not even bother to fill out a fullback roster position because it's just obsolete. Like, the only two teams I can think of that use a fullback are the Niners and the Ravens. That's it. So it should not be a requirement to have a fullback in today's NFL, in MUT, if today's NFL just completely ignores the position altogether. And then we get to the right outside and left outside linebacker. I don't understand why these are not just outside linebacker and then defensive end. They had it in, and then the middle linebackers are inside linebackers. We had it in the beta for Madden 24 or Madden 23. I cannot remember which it was. And everybody went crazy for it because it was like, oh my gosh, this is actually nice. Would be great to have it. And then when we got the full game for whatever year it was, it just was in the game. Like, the same lineups creation stuff was in the game, and I just don't understand why EA is going backwards with that, especially when positions are becoming a lot less frivolous and a lot less exclusive to the defensive side of the ball. Like, you look at example, someone like a Tyrann Mathieu. Man could play corner. Man in his heyday would play cornerback and safety at the same time. Like, he would play slot corner, he'd play boundary corner, he'd play strong safety, he'd play free safety. You know, you look at someone like a Cameron Hayward, he could play defensive tackle and defensive end, an interior defensive end, as well as an edge rusher. Actually, I don't know if he can play edge rusher, but you get the point I'm trying to make. You know, Myles Garrett can rush basically as an edge rusher, and an interior rusher. So, I don't know. Like, I just don't understand why we have still these position-defining spots in our lineups. To me, it's just not really something that I would personally would have kept in the game. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the lack of KOs in the game. Now, I get people are just straight up don't like knockout abilities, and to those people, I say, well, maybe stop throwing bad balls into coverage. To me, it is absolutely baffling to me that people argue against KOs and think they are bad for the game, when realistically, at least in my personal opinion, they're not. If anything, they make defense bearable and they make the game playable, because I am sick and tired of people chucking balls into places they should not be throwing it and getting away with it because of the fact that there's no knockout. It pisses me off. It makes the game not playable. It lowers the skill gap, in my personal opinion, because of the fact that people can just get away with whatever. And overall, it's just not fun. I literally lost a MUT Champs game last night because I had a guy chuck a ball into double coverage, and he came down with it. And I ended up losing the game because he ended up scoring on the next play on a touchdown. So, yeah. That's not fun. That shit's not fun. It's agonizing, and I hope EA puts out KOs for players as soon as possible, because quite frankly, it's the only thing that would probably make defense in this game fucking bearable at this point. because defense right now is just straight up horrendous. Anyways, so that is it for the video, guys. One last thing I wanted to mention that I forgot to say, one of the things that are good that I liked about the game is the fact that linebackers do jump without lurk artist now, or lurker. You don't need to have those anymore. You can just have them on the field and they will jump when you press the Y button to or Y or triangle to animate. And I think that's great because overall it is definitely something that has been needed for the game for the last few years. And it makes linebackers usable rather than making them obsolete and needing an ability just to jump. Now, you guys know I've talked about how I've said things like lurk artist should make your linebacker user insane, not make it usable. You know what I mean? So something like lurk artist on Ray Lewis should make Ray Lewis like insanely overpowered, or not overpowered, but insanely good and not usable. You know what I mean? So. But that's going to do it, guys, for the video. Now I'm out. I'll see if you guys do like this video, want to see more, hit the like button below, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.